All right, Shalom. First,
Shalom.
form, first foremost, we want to give all praise and glory to Yahawah,
Yahawah, Bahashim,
Yahawashi,
Yahawashi, Bahashem,
Rakak,
Rakak,
Dash,
Dash.
double honors to the elder apostles, great millstone, and salutation, and much love to you, Akim, out there pushing out his word of truth and sincerity. And we're just going to do a quick video, pretty much second part of the video I did earlier. It was entitled "Is World War III in the Bible?" And at the end of the video, I was getting into, you know, pretty much that in the midst of all this, all right, war, all this chaos as they're fight, as these nations are fighting each other. All right, Yahawashi, our Lord and Savior, is going to return. All right, he's going to return with what people ignorantly call UFOs. All right, and these armies are gonna join together as they showed in the movie Independence Day. All right, all these nations are gonna come together and they're gonna try to fight the Lord and his angels, which are also coming in UFOs. Okay, um, let me get that in a
I got
second.
okay,
Yeah.
come. I got the one in Revelation.
We'll get that. Go ahead and get that first.
This is Revelation chapter 1 and verse 7. And it says, Behold, he cometh with clouds, and every eye shall see him, and they also which pierced him, and all kindreds of the earth shall wail because of him, even so on mine. Okay. And it said, it started there. It said, "Behold, he cometh with clouds, man." All right, it's not literally talking about clouds. All right, like they like to show in these movies like Dragon Ball Z, or like these movies, they have that series on Netflix, where the clouds came up over the hill, and he went up, in it, and other depictions that Esau likes to show on TV. Okay, it's not literal clouds. Okay, it's talking about the chariots. All right, what the world literally calls UFOs. All right, it said that behold, he cometh with clouds, and every eye shall see him. All right, so everybody sees a cloud every day, and no one's really in awe of it. Okay, now you see a UFO, and people or everybody's bugging out, man. So guess what? Every eye is gonna see the Lord, man. All right, because he's gonna be coming back in those chariots. All right.
Okay, and let me just pull up a picture of that scene in Independence Day
Uh,
when the chariot, all right, or what they ignorantly call UFO, appeared in New York.
uh,
All right, this is it right here. All right, that's how. I mean, it's gonna be a lot greater, in size. Clearly, we're gonna get the precepts on it, but this is how it's gonna come out, man. This is what's gonna look like, man. This
uh,
is what John, all right, was talking about.
mm-hmm.
This is what the disciple, the prophets of the Lord were talking about. It. All right, when it talks about the flying roll, all right, the chariots of the Lord. Okay, the wheel within the wheel that Ezekiel spoke about. This is what they were talking about. These so-called UFOs. Okay, which this is Esau trying to do some shit, but what they saw, all right, when they refer to clouds, all right, what led the children of Israel out of Egypt, with a cloud by day in a pillar of fire by night. This is what they were talking about, man. The so-called UFO. All right, the chariot of the Lord, and they, you know what? They can disguise themselves as a cloud if they want to.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Yep.
but when they return, you're gonna see them in all their glory. All right, because the Lord said, all right, He's gonna return it with His glory. All right.
Yep.
Let me get that real quick. Give me 1 second.
Uh,
Go ahead and speak while I get it.
Hey, and the picture of the brother. Well, if you really have some type of sense, and this was something that I, even when I was in the world, reading the scriptures, it was always something that that I would always ponder on. Is back in those days, man. You didn't know what a UFO was. That's not what they called it. They called it clouds. And the reason that being is what else is in the sky. You know, you see clouds in the sky, man. So what other things did they know how to call it? They called it the clouds. All right. They also called it chariots because with chariots they moved. All right, and what was an ancient chariot? All right, it was a chariot with horses. All right, and it would carry men from one place to another. And what does the so-called UFOs carry? The angels, and it's going to be bringing back the Lord, man. All right. So when you see words like clouds and chariots, and it's referring to how someone's coming, or someone, or a cloud or a chariot appeared, that's talking about this so-called UFO, man. All right. So
Yep.
let's get that squared away with, man, because you got these actors, these movie directors that portray it like that, like these chariots are some scary thing, because they want you to fear when the Lord comes back, man. They want you to because Esau is gonna obviously he's gonna try to fight against it, like the brother said, and like the scriptures say. So he's got to instill the fear now. So when the Lord does appear, people try to unite, and they're okay with trying to go against the Lord, man.
Because he's already demonized it through his media and his Hollywood.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
But I got that scripture to go with that revelation. This is I got a couple of them. This is Matthew 24 verse 30. Well, let me see here. Yeah, I'll start at 29. And this is after all these things is gonna happen. This horrible, all right, the day of Jacob's trouble, all right,
Mm-hmm.
all in the midst, all right, when the missiles are about to be shot off, while they're getting shot off, we don't know exactly how it's gonna go down, but we know it's gonna be simultaneously, we know it's gonna be all it's all gonna be all in one commotion, so to say,
Yep.
But this is Matthew 24 and 29. Immediately after the tribulation of those days shall the sun be darkened, and the moon shall not give her light, and the stars shall fall from heaven, and the powers of the heavens shall be shaken. And then shall appear the sign of the Son of Man in heaven.
Mm-hmm.
And then shall all the tribes of the earth mourn, and they shall see, all right, they shall physically see him, right? And they shall see the Son of Man coming in the clouds of heaven with power and great glory.
Yep.
So that's how he's coming, man. They're not going to be hiding or disappearing as soon as you look at him. It's not going to just be a little light. Okay, you're gonna see that. You're gonna see the gold. All right, you're gonna see the silver. You're gonna see the elements that make those chariots when they appear, man. You're gonna physically see them, and that's why a lot of people are gonna die just from looking at it, man, because of fear. Okay. Reading on, it says, verse 31, and he shall send his angels with a great sound of trumpet, and they shall gather together his elect from the four winds, from one end of heaven to the other. And that's going to be while the missiles are on the way, man. Simultaneously, that's why the scriptures say the elect shall scarcely be saved, or the righteous shall scarcely be saved.
Mm-hmm.
That's because as those missiles are coming, that's when he's going to send his angels, all right, to beam his elect up, right, in the rest of the 1/3.
Okay.
But
this is the book of Acts, chapter 1 and verse 9, and it reads, and when he had spoken these things, that he's talking about Yahawashi,
yep.
It said, while they beheld, he was taken up, and a cloud received them out of their sight. Now, brother Bubba Bashar, if you can pull up a picture of someone being abducted, to make a point with that.
Okay. Read it again.
It says, this is Acts chapter 1, verse 9. It says, and when he had spoken these things, while they beheld, he was taken up, and a cloud received them out of their sight, man. So what do you think happened, man? Exactly what you see in these movies, man. All right.
Yeah, and they're not the so-called the chariots of the Lord are not fucking beaming up cows in the middle of Montana, all right, in North Dakota. They're not beaming up, random cows and shit like they be trying to show. This is how Yahawashi went up right here, man. Right here. He went up into the clouds, man. The chariot took him up into the clouds. You see? Mm-hmm. And see that flying roll. As I think it's in Zechariah 5, but keep going.
It says, verse 10, and while they looked steadfastly towards heaven, all right, so they were looking up towards the sky. As he went up, behold, two men stood by them in white apparel. This is two angels.
Not these guys right here, all right? They weren't ET aliens, okay? Looking Yeah, come on now. You actually think there's aliens like that? I mean, who? There might be some creature out there in the galaxy somewhere that look ugly as hell like that, but those are not in those in the UFOs or the chariots. All right,
Mm-hmm.
and by no means am I saying uh uh there's any life forms. We don't teach that outside of this planet. We don't know. It's not in the scriptures, so we don't know. We know there's other planets that are habitable. As the scriptures say that he went to make many mansions. There are many mansions in my father's house. We're
Mm-hmm.
not saying, all right. We're not saying none of that. We're just stating what the scriptures say about the UFOs. All right,
Come.
and who are in them. All right, and it's not these grays. All right, they're not ant looking people.
Reptilian.
Yeah, reptilians. All right, they're big, so-called big black men. All right, so you can understand.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead.
Verse 11 it says, which also said, ye men of Galilee, why stand ye gazing up into heaven? This same Yahawashi, which is taking up, which, and that goes to show you right there that he's going to come back, all right, in the same form that he left, man. So
Yep.
he's not going to come back and looking different, because you have people out there who believe that, oh, he's going to come back in a different body, man. No, he's going to have his spiritual body, man. He ain't gonna meet us like a man, or he ain't gonna come to meet Esau like a man, like he did this time. But he's coming in the same flesh, man. He's still coming, like it said, and or the point
He's
being
coming in his spirit, that powerful body. You know, he gonna have that complete powers.
but he's still gonna look the same as he did when he was on the earth, man. All right, he's still gonna have those same features, okay? The same colored skin,
Okay.
all right, the same hair, all right. It ain't gonna change, man.
Okay.
Then it said, go
He
ahead.
gonna be without blemish though. He gonna be in that
Yep.
because we gonna receive those same spiritual bodies. All right.
Yep. Yep. Verse 11 is,
I'm not talking about like a ghost. You know, we're not gonna become ghosts. You know, we're gonna have physical bodies, but spiritual bodies if you can receive it. You know.
says, this same Yahawashi which is taken up from you into heaven shall so come in like manner as ye have seen him go into heaven, man.
Yep.
All right. So when we read in Revelation, when it's talking about that he got taken up with clouds, or that he's let me get it again. It says, behold, back in Revelation chapter 1, verse 7, it says, behold, he cometh with clouds. It's talking about the exact same thing here in the book of Acts chapter 1, verse 11, man. Well, 9 through 11. All right. He left with clouds, and he's going to come back with the clouds, man. And those clouds are what? UFOs, man. Or where the world deems UFOs, because they're not, they call them unidentified flying objects. We know what they are, man. They're the chariots of the Lord, man. They're IFOs, identified flying objects.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? We've identified them through what? The scriptures, man. All right?
Okay.
This is why you got Esau trying to make a space force, man.
Yep.
To try to stop the return of the Lord, man. All right? You got videos on YouTube. I don't know if they're still up, of Esau trying to shoot lasers at UFOs, man, out in outer space. They got actual NASA footage, man. All right? This thing is hey, man, the Lord is going to make a grand and marvelous return, and this is why it's going to be marvelous, man. People are going to see the Lord's chariot, man. Imagine the Lord's chariot, how it's going to look, man. Humongous, made of God knows what type of elements, but I can guarantee it's going to be the purest of the purest elements. All right.
Yep. Kind of got a quick precept because we'll read that again in Acts.
From the top.
Where it said where the angels are speaking.
This is verse 11. It says, which said also, ye men of Galilee, why stand ye gazing up into heaven? This same Yahawashi which is taken up.
Oh, Salak. Actually, that Matthew. Go get that Matthew 24. Go to Matthew 24 and that 31. Yeah, 21. Yeah, I got a precept once you read that.
This is Matthew chapter 24, verse 31, and it says, and he shall send his angels with a great sound of a trumpet, and they shall gather together his elect from the four winds, from one end of heaven to the other.
All right, Khan, and let's see how he's gonna do. How are they gonna gather them? Let's see. This is a First Thessalonians chapter 4, verse 16. For the Lord Himself shall descend from heaven with a shout, with the voice of the archangel, and with the trump of the Most High, and the dead in Hamashiach shall rise first. Meaning that those that are resting or have passed on that were in this truth, they're gonna be with Him on those chariots. All right, those so-called UFOs, they're gonna be with Him. All right,
Mm-hmm.
and when the Lord returns, okay. And then verse 17 says, "Then we which are alive and remain shall be caught up together with them in the clouds to meet the Lord in the air, and so shall we ever be with the Lord." And who is that talking about? The elect that the brother just read in Matthew 24, man.
Mm-hmm.
That's how they're gonna get gathered from around the world, man. Through what these people ignorantly call UFOs, man. They're gonna get beamed up, and then as they're going up, according to I believe it's First Corinthians, or it could be Second. First Corinthians 15.
Yeah, I'm there right now.
Go ahead and get it.
But what was the verse?
15 and like 53, or no 50. You can start at 51.
Okay.
Start at 51.
Yep. All right, Con. This is First Corinthians 15 and 51. It says, "Behold, I show you a mystery, and ye shall not all sleep, but we shall all be changed in a moment, in the twinkling of an eye, at the last trump."
And what I just read in First Thessalonians that He's gonna come with a shout and and with the trump of the Most High, man. That last trump, that seventh trump, man.
Mm-hmm.
So that when that seventh trump comes, which are the nuclear missiles,
Mm-hmm.
okay, then when we get called up into the air on the way up, we're gonna be changed in the twinkling of an eye, because we can't enter into those chariots with these bodies, man. They're interdimensional vehicles. So,
Hey, yeah, they got a spiritual security system, man. And the only way you can get through that security, all right, that firewall, is if you have spiritual bodies, man. God knows what happened if a human if this corrupted flesh could try to go through there, man. You might disintegrate, man.
but that was it on that, or was there more?
Yeah, that's pretty much it on that.
Okay. But now that we have established that the Lord's coming in, what people ignorantly call UFOs, all right. Now we're gonna get into that how He's gonna fight these so-called armies in Air Force and Space Force and whatever from these different nations. Okay, and I'll start in Revelation 12 and 7. There's Revelation 12 and 7, and there was war in heaven. Michael and his angels fought against the dragon, and the dragon fought and his angels, and prevailed not. So meaning they're not going to prevail. They're all right. These so-called UFOs are going to completely destroy Esau's military. All right, Moab's military, everybody's military is going to get demolished by the angels, man. Because Yahawashi, he's going to come. He's gonna be blasting shit, but what he has an army, man. He's gonna have an army. These chariots are gonna be getting down. Not only are these chariots coming for salvation of the elect in the 1/3, but what? They're coming to zap niggas, man. As there's different accounts in the scriptures, man. There's an account with David, King David, where he's seen chariots like in this picture right here. It looks like lightning, and that's what King David described it as, man. He said that it was shooting lightning out of it, man. Okay. And then it took him up into a large place. I think that's Psalms 18.
Okay. Hey, and real quick, just to prove that this is talking about the so-called white man, all right? The Esau, Edom, all right. When you go into that word dragon, all right, is drakon, and the Greek is G1 or G1404, and it says a dragon, a great serpent, a name for Satan. Mm-hmm. Okay.
Well, it's gonna get into that in the next verse, but that dragon is this system, man. This Edomite system, which is originally the Roman Empire. Yep. All right, this is the dragon, the beast that's spoken of throughout the book of Revelation. Daniel spoke about it. Okay, they're gonna fight against the Lord, because who got the top military? It's Esau, man. Not just America. They got the best military, so to say, but it's Esau as in all, the dragon, the beast. All right, and it goes on. It says, and prevail not, neither was their place found anymore in heaven, meaning they're gonna lose rulership. They're not gonna have. All right, Esau's not gonna be able to enforce his military on people anymore and make people do what they want or what he wants. You know.
Yep.
Verse 9, and the great dragon was cast out, that old serpent. See, so that's dragon, this great dragon. All right, that's here today. It's that old serpent all the way back to the garden, man. Goes back to the book of Genesis, man.
Yep.
Okay. And it says that old serpent called the devil and Satan, which deceiveth the whole world. He was cast out into the earth, and his angels were cast out with him. All right. So the top of Esau's society and all his minions, they going down, man. Yep. All these little mighty men, all right, those F-35, the stealth fighters, all right, the B-2 bomber. All right, all that is gonna get utterly beaten to powder, man, obliterated, and it's gonna be like in the movie Independence Day, man. All right, where they were getting rolled on, Esau was getting his ass whooped, and then all of a sudden they started getting through the force field. No, that ain't gonna happen, man. It's gonna be a landslide victory.
And real quick, you go into that word serp or Satan, and it says the word there is ophis. And when you go down to the Strong's definition, because people like to say, oh, well, that's talking about, because that's, in the beginning when it talks about the serpent, because when it makes that reference, it says that old serpent, that's making reference back to Genesis. Okay. That wasn't a real snake, man. Because you got a lot of people who believe that it was a real snake that was whispering to Eve, man. So you go here, it says in the Strong's definition, it says through the idea of sharpness of a vision, a snake figuratively as a type of sly cunning and artful malicious person. Okay. And that's talking about the so-called white man. All right. Yep. Esau, Edom. All right.
That old serpent.
Yep.
He was a murderer from the beginning. He abode not in the truth.
It was that same spirit back then, man.
The spirit of Esau, man. It was in that serpent. All right, which was a people. It was an actual person. All right, it was on Cain, and then it came through the line of Esau, man.
Hey, they were the sons of the wicked.
Yep. Kind of, but what was that? That was it on Revelation 12. And now, can you get Second Ezra 13:1 or start at 3?
Second Ezra 13:3.
Yeah, start at 3. Because now, because we just established that there's going to be a war in heaven, meaning there's going to be a war. That's why they're making the Space Force, like the brother said, man. So there's going to be flying. These jets are going to be flying. All right, the UFOs are going to be flying around, zapping shit. There's going to be a literal war in the heavens, man. We're not talking about where like Esau likes to portray where there's naked babies flying around with wings and harps, and little bows and arrows. We're talking about in the firmament. Okay, we're gonna witness it. People are gonna witness this battle.
Yep.
You got it.
Yep.
All right, go ahead.
This is the book of Second Ezra in the Apocrypha, chapter 13, verse 3, and it says, "And I beheld, and lo, that man waxed strong with the thousands of heaven, and when he turned his countenance to look, all the things trembled that were seen under him."
Now that's talking about Yahawashi. All right. That man that waxed strong with thousands of heaven. Who is that? Who are the thousands of heavens? Look, and you reading from the book? You got your book in front of you?
Yeah.
Look at the footnote where it says thousands of heaven. Look what it says.
It says a certain man as the wind.
No. The one under that. I'm talking about verse 3.
Oh, clouds.
Yep. So now we know that those thousands of heaven are talking about those clouds, which we've been reading about this whole time. All right, because the Lord's coming in clouds, his angels are coming in clouds, his elect's gonna be taken up into clouds, as we read in 2 Thessalonians or 1 Thessalonians. All right, so go ahead.
And when he turned his countenance to look, all the things trembled that were seen under him. Verse 4. And whensoever the voice went out of his mouth, all they burnt.
And that's this talking about these beams of laser beams. This intensified light, man. Intensified beams of light, man. They're concentrated beams of light.
A good example of that is that in the book of Exodus when the Israelites were leaving Egypt. All right, you had the chariot that had that pillar of fire that was put in between.
Kind of, yeah. The
You know,
Moses, or yeah, the Israel and Pharaoh.
yep. So that's how the chariot was the cloud. You know that chariot. All right, the UFO was put that division, man. It was sending laser beams, man. All right.
Concentrated light, man, which is
Yep.
nothing. That's what a laser beam is, a super concentrated light.
Yep. Yep.
And they have shown that laser can fuck shit up, man. They got
Mm-hmm.
laser cannons. All right,
Yep.
you can buy military grade lasers, you know, the pocket ones, and them shit'll blow up a balloon, man. And it's not even, you know, it's that shit's not even hot or nothing like that. And they'll pop balloons. They'll fucking make niggas blind. You put that shit in your eye, you know what I'm saying?
Hey,
It'll go for miles.
and proof that Esau has that technology, man. When you watch that documentary Panama Deception, you know you had testimonies from civilians that when Esau went up in there, rolled up in there and started shooting civilians and stuff, they went over there and they were trying weapons out, man. Because you had testimony from people that there was like big, you know, tank looking vehicles that would come with laser beams, man, shooting holes through cars. Dude said that half a car was just seared off. You know, people getting zapped in half. You know, and so if Esau has it, what you think the Lord has, man? What you think that this damn devil can have the technology, but the Lord and his angels don't? Come on, man. You guys are bugged out.
Yep.
All right, let me keep on in that.
Okay.
It says, verse 4, and whensoever the voice went out of his mouth, all they burnt that heard his voice, like as the earth faileth when it feeleth the fire. Verse 5, and after this I beheld, and lo, there was gathered together a multitude of men out of number from the four winds of the heaven.
And so this is this is gonna be Satan and his angels, as we read in Revelation 12. Go ahead.
All right. From the four winds of the heaven to subdue the man that came out of the sea. All right. And when it says there from the four winds of the heaven, all right. Were you going to say something?
No, go ahead.
All right. All right. Let's talk about all these nations coming together, man. All right. It says to subdue the man that came out of the sea. All right. Talking about what? Because the scriptures in Genesis chapter 1, there was a firmament that was created to divide the waters from the waters. All right. So the heavens, all right, the outer space was referenced to as waters, man. All right. So here it's talking about. It said, where is it? Verse 5 says, subdue the man that came out of the sea. That's talking about the Lord coming from outer space, man.
Yep.
All right. Verse 6. For I beheld, and lo, he had graved himself a great mountain and flew upon it, man.
All right, and that's what Ezra described Yahawashi's chariot as, man. That's what we were saying earlier, man. It's gonna be ridiculously big, man. You're not even gonna be able to see the end of it, because that's what Ezra said, that it looked like a mountain carved out of the earth, man.
Yeah, he couldn't even see where it started, man. It just looked like it started from the bottom of the earth, man. You know, or from the ground up, man. You know, just like a mountain. A mountain starts from the ground and it goes really high up, man. That's how big that chariot that the Lord is coming back in. That's how big it is, man. You ain't gonna be able to see where it ends. All right. So
kind of like this picture. I'm about to pull this picture. Where'd it go? This picture right here. You see how big it is? It's taking up the whole city. You know, you can't really see it fully, but
it says, let me read that again.
Yeah.
But I beheld, and lo, he had graved himself a great mountain and flew upon it, up upon it. Okay. Verse 7. But I would have seen the region or place whereout the hill was graven, and I could not. So there you go, man. He couldn't even see where it would connect to the bottom, man. All right.
There we go. Here's a good representative. Yeah, that's how it's gonna look right there.
Yep.
It's damn near as big as the earth, man.
Yep.
You know. But go ahead.
Verse 8. And after this I beheld, and lo, all they which were gathered together to subdue him, meaning all these armies of the world, all right, it says, were sore afraid, and yet durst fight. So these armies of the world, man, they're gonna all put their differences aside, and they're gonna, for a brief moment, to try to fight off the Lord, man. All right, you had Ronald Reagan, while he was in office, he said that if we were invaded by another other beings from outside of Earth, that we would come together to fight a common enemy, man. And guess what? That's why they started that program from back in the 80s, man. Donald Trump didn't just come up with this, man. All right, this has been in this Space Force has been in the works for a very long time now, man.
Wow.
Okay, and it says, and we're sore afraid, and yet there's fight, because these people are going to be terrified when they see chariots, man, because they're going to be seeing all their comrades being destroyed like nothing, man, like pudding. Because you can't, hey, man, not once has a UFO ever been destroyed by one of Esau's weapons, man. Never, not once, man. Show me evidence, man. Because you got people, oh, there was a crash at Roswell. Show me the evidence, man. See, Esau has played this facade that, oh, chariots have been found or crashed and this and that. No, you haven't, man. Come on, man. Get out of here, man. Get out of here, man. If anything, that was Esau trying to an attempt at trying to make a UFO, and he failed, man.
Yeah, that's bullshit.
Yeah, man.
A fucking chariot of the Lord going down. Come on now.
Yep.
That's not even realistic.
Yeah. Something of the Lord, something the Lord created, failing, man. Come on, man. Get out of here, man.
Yep.
You people are bugged out, man. All right, but regardless, these people are going to be terrified, man. These armies, these militaries, they're going to be terrified, man. This whole Space Force that Trump got going on, them guys who joined that shit, man, they're going to be terrified, man. They're going to be terrified, man. All right? It ain't gonna be just you fighting some damn gooks, man. You fighting angels of the Lord. And in that day, in that time, those people are gonna know, man. Those people are gonna know, because they're gonna see Yahawashi on top of that chariot, man. That's what Ezra's just described, man. He was on top of that of the chariot, man. All right. Verse 9, and it says, and lo, as he saw the violence of the multitude that came, he neither lift up his hand, nor held sword, nor any instrument of war.
Nah, so the Lord don't even have to pick up a finger, man, to get his chariot to destroy them. All right, because it's like the movie The Avatar, where they would hop on into the little creatures, and they were able to control it just with their thoughts. Well, that's how them chariots work, man. That's how them the vehicles of the Lord work, man. That's how they work. If they're far beyond anything that we can come up with here on this planet, man. And look, here's a picture of what we just read. You're gonna be on top of that chariot, man.
Yep, there you go. Plain as day, man. Yeah.
Look,
right. Yeah, come. All right, the Lord's gonna be able to control it telepathically, man. All right, with just the thought of it.
And that's why our bodies got to be changed.
Yep. So to be able to sustain that ability, man. You think our these bodies are going to be able to control something like that, man? Yeah, we might get connected to it and our brain explode, man.
Yep.
All right, but let me keep on, because let's see what the Lord is going to do. All right. Verse 10. But only I saw that he sent out of his mouth as it had been a blast of fire, and out of his lips a flaming breath, and out of his tongue he cast out sparks and tempests, man. So go ahead.
Now I talk about them laser beams again.
Yep.
Zapping niggas. Right here. It's not just the Lord, all right, but all the chariots, man, gonna be zapping niggas. Just
Hey, good example of that is if you could probably get a picture of it. The scene in World of Worlds, man. All right.
Oh, yeah.
When that thing came up out of the ground, all right, that UFO just started zapping people to dust, man. All right, dust everywhere. That's what you're gonna see people just disappearing, man, being vaporized instantly. All right, and let me read 11 while you pull that up.
You go right here.
All right, yep. And it says, and they were all mixed together, the blast of fire, the flaming breath, and the great tempest, and fell with violence upon the multitude which were prepared to fight, and burnt them up everyone, so that upon a sudden of an innumerable multitude nothing was to be perceived, but only dust and smell of smoke.
Hey, and what happened in that World War? See, them zaps were just beating people to dust and smoke, man.
Mm-hmm.
Matter of fact, let me get that scene real quick. Read it again. Let's see if I can find that scene, and I'll play it, but on mute, so you know they don't flag it.
Come, yeah. Pull it up, and I'll read it as you play.
Oh, come. Of course.
Yeah.
Staying slow on the computer down. Or like said, don't fuck with my shit.
Hey, because you people think this is a joke, man. But the scriptures, they when you read the scriptures and you understand what it's talking about, and you actually see a depiction of it as you read it, man. You understand it, man. You see it, man. But the minute of the Lord, we didn't have to. I mean, yeah, in some cases, brothers, you know, might have came across a video of this and that, man. But for the most part, man, we believe that the chariots of the Lord are the UFOs, man. And we didn't have to be, you know, like I said, there might have been some brothers that got shown, you know, breakdown while reading it and looking at a video or something, man. But for the most part, like I said, you know, we believe, man. All right? Because we know that that's the truth, man. But go ahead and play that, brother. See where we at here, what part.
It's about to come up now.
Come. Go ahead and fast forward to just a little bit. It still hasn't even come up.
Okay, here we go. And this is where it says that, and they were so afraid, and yet there's fight. This is how the people are gonna be when they see the chariots, man.
Mm-hmm. All right, let me read it.
Yeah, go ahead and start reading.
Oh, all right.
I'm
gonna start at verse 10. It says, this is 2 Ezra 13 and 10. It says, but only I saw that he sent out of his mouth, and it had been a blast of fire, and out of his lips a flaming breath, and out of his tongue he cast out sparks and tempest. All right.
Damn, really?
Dang, it's still just coming up.
Yeah. All right, go ahead.
There we go. I heard. And they were all mixed together, the blast of fire, the flaming breath, and the great tempest, and fell with violence upon the multitude, which was prepared to fight, and burnt them up every one, so that upon a sudden of an innumerable multitude, all right, and there you go in the scene, you have a multitude, right? It says, nothing was to be perceived, but only dust and a smell of smoke. Where I saw this, I was afraid. Or when I saw this, I was afraid. All right, and you're about to see a depiction of exactly that, man. And this just goes to show you that these devils, man, that create these movies, man, in Hollywood, man, they know they know the scriptures, man. All right. But you peons get this shown in the movie, and you don't believe that this could be true because it's being played in the movie.
Yep. Right? And then niggas see somebody always trying to be on World Star. They're gonna be the first niggas that.
Yep.
I hope they show it. Shit.
I know, right? I think you just put the first tripod. You didn't put.
Nope, there we go.
You go. Boom. Boom.
Oh, that's the point. Look.
Boom.
That was the point. Yeah.
Come on, man. So you seen it, man. Dude got zapped and just poof. All right? And that's how you niggas are going to be, man. You guys are going to be poofed, man. The Lord is going to zap your ass up out of here, man. All right?
Okay, here we go. Tripod attack.
Come on. Yeah, because I want to see the dust, man. I want brothers to see the dust.
Gotta get the Chinese quality in this bitch. All right, here we go. Oh, come on, man. What the fuck? This shit is ridiculous. Brand new computer. Brand new computer. All right, here we go. And right now is I don't want. Well, let me see. Just get it in. You can't even hear it. Yeah. It's probably because I'm doing the live stream. I don't. Oh no, it's right here. Well, anyway, because it had a trumpet. It had that sound. It sounded like a ram's horn.
Yep. There it goes. Boop. See? Let me read that again. It says 2 Ezra 13:11, and they were all mixed together, the blast of fire, the flaming breath, and the great tempest, and fell with a violence upon the multitude which was prepared to fight, and burnt them up everyone, so that upon a sudden of an innumerable multitude nothing was to be perceived, but only dust and a smell of smoke. When I saw this, I was afraid. And see, look, you got dust. You got cars being zapped, smoking, blowing up. Look at that. Poof. Dust.
Smoke.
All right.
Look at that. You saw that? That's exactly where they got this from, man. The scriptures, man.
Yep.
It's in the Apocrypha.
Yep.
So, you know, there you go, man. There's no way around these scriptures, man. Esau is even showing you. Look what he's covered in. He's covered in dust, man. Look at his dusty ass, man. Look at Tom Cruise's dusty ass. But ain't gonna be no shit like that. He ain't gonna be running up the road in that day. Everything in sight is gonna be getting that's why I said that there was nothing was to be perceived, man. The trees, everything's gonna be getting zapped, man. The buildings, all right, the people, even the poor animals got to get it, man. I'm talking about here in America. Everything's gonna be burned up because simultaneously the missiles gonna be on the way.
Yep.
Look at him, dusty as hell. Look like he just came out of a attic that ain't been open in 100 years.
Yep. And that's the way you know that you know, because the brother just made a comment about at the same time that this is happening, the missiles are going to be on their way. The way you know that is because the reason why those ships are coming down is to gather up the elect, man.
Yep.
You know, they're already down here. They ain't going to leave and then come back to gather the elect a couple months later when the missiles come, man. No. Because after this, let's just say the chariots come down and leave. What the hell is Esau going to do, man? Everybody's been destroyed. Esau ain't going to just decide, well, you know, the aliens left. Let's pick up back this war where we left off at. No, man. The destruction is going to be coming. And in that little wait, okay? It's going to be a little wait between those missiles hitting here, man. All right? Because the scripture's saying within 1 hour, this place is going to be destroyed. The chariots are going to come down here, zap you people up, destroy these armies. In the middle of the Lord, we getting up out of here, man.
Yep. And that's how the cookie crumbles.
Yep.
I mean, that's all. Like, let me see here. Well, actually, I got one more scripture we can close out on. All right. Let me see here. I'll close out on. Actually, get Zechariah or Zephaniah 3:8, and I'll get this Isaiah. To hit the nail. Yeah. There ain't no way around the return of the Lord. That's why the scriptures say, "Woe unto you that desire the day of the Lord," man. So what end is it to you, man? Because if you're not part of the Lord's, if you're not written in the book of life, you're gonna be destroyed, man. You might catch a chariot might catch you, man, and that's a horrible way to die. You just seen how them niggas were getting beat to powder. All right. This is Isaiah 66 verse 15. For behold, the Lord Yahawah will come with fire. And how's the Lord going to come? Because he's going to send his son in his name. All right. And all his hosts with him. All right. Will come with fire and with his chariots like a whirlwind to render his anger with fury and his rebuke with flames of fire. And his wrath with a For by fire and by his sword will the Lord Yahawah plead with all flesh, and the slain of the Lord shall be many. So there it is. The slain of the Lord shall be many. All right. And the chariots are going to get down on people, man. The Lord himself is going to be getting down on people, man. Without even moving a finger. All right. And we'll close out on that.
You said Zephaniah 3 and what?
3 and 8. I think that's the one.
All right, let me just read it. It says, Zephaniah chapter 3, verse 8, it says, Therefore, wait ye upon me, saith Yahawah, until the day that I rise up to the prey.
And how's he going to do that when he returns in those chariots?
Yep.
Go ahead.
It says, until the day that I rise up to the prey, for my determination is to gather the nations, that I may assemble the kings to pour upon them mine indignation.
I said the kingdoms, but that's what he's doing now. He's assembling these nations, all right, to in this World War III, man. So they're all the mighty men are gonna be all right, are gonna be called up, like as Joel chapter 3 says, man. Call the men, the mighty men, the men of war, prepared the battle, prepare for vision. But that's the whole purpose. So when he comes back, they're already everybody that needs to be there. All right, everybody that needs to be in the military is already there, and so the Lord can come in and slaughter them, man. That's the whole point. That's his determination, man. So he can pour his indignation upon them, man. Go ahead.
Say, even all my fierce anger, for all the earth shall be devoured with the fire of my jealousy.
There you go. Plain and simple, man. No way around that, man. That's what the day of the Lord's looking like, man. The return of the Lord. That's what it's gonna be. All right. All these precepts that we brought out, that encompasses the return of the Lord, man. Yep. Salvation and destruction, man. All right. But you got anything else, brother?
Gonna be it, brother.
But with that, we want to give all praise and glory to Yahawah, Yahawashi, double honors to the elder apostles, great millstone. A salutations to you brothers that were on the stream. Brothers, stay strong, keep the faith, man. We almost out of here, and the Lord's going to return real soon. And we brought it out through the scriptures. Now, if this is the first time you're hearing it, or if you haven't heard these scriptures before, now you understand. You should understand clearly how the Lord's going to return, and you don't want to be on the wrong end of that. Okay, but with that, shalom.
Shalom.